Hi there FMPS. For this week we're going to start looking at a sport called touch football or touch rugby. And the reason why I've chosen this sport for us to look at is because this term I really wanted us to start looking at team games and sports. Even though that's a little bit difficult at the moment while we're at home, it'll be great for when we get back to school. And the reason also that I chose touch football or touch rugby is because rugby is an Olympic sport. And as you know, the Olympics are currently on. Now, so far you should have looked at the first video that I linked in this week's assignment, and that was for you to have a look at the rules of touch rugby or touch football. So you should be a little bit more familiar with them at the moment. Now, touch football has a few different components. That is passing, it is running and sidestepping, and we also have tapping or touching, and we also have moving up 5 meters and moving back 5 meters really quickly to get onside in the game. So we're going to look at each of those skills this week very quickly. I'm going to demonstrate them to you. You can pause the video, you can practice them as much as you would like to, and hopefully it's more than less. And then you can keep practicing throughout the week. And then as we get back to school, you'll have a really good base knowledge of the skills you need for touch football, and we'll be able to put it into practice and hopefully play a match. Now the first skill that we're going to look at is one that I really enjoy, and that's passing. So to work on our passing, you're going to need a ball, a soft ball, because you'll probably be doing it inside. Now, you know, the soft ball that I make, I'm pretty good at it now, so I even put together a few more pairs of socks. I think there's about 4 pairs of socks here, and I've created a ball that looks a little bit like the same shape as a rugby ball, oval in shape, okay, or an egg shape. Now, when we pass in rugby, we like to have both hands on the ball, and I'm not going to teach you a spiral pass because it's a bit challenging. I'm just going to teach you a spin pass or a flick pass. And the way that we pass the ball is we put our hands on either side of the ball, kind of like we're praying, okay? Just a little bit. And then what we do is we're going to stand side on. And as you know from watching that video before, in touch football, we actually have to pass the ball backwards and sideways, okay? So it has to travel backwards, okay? So what I'm going to do is stand here, front on, and I'm going to pretend that there's somebody next to me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to step that way, and you can see my hands bend, and then I'm going to pass the ball like that. And it looks like this. I pretend that I'm running, I step that way, and I pass. And that was a pretty good pass, but I also need to be pretending that I'm passing up nice to someone's chest level, because we don't want to pass down at their feet because it'll be too hard for them to catch the ball. And we don't want to pass it up really high because then they'll have to jump and their feet will be off the ground, they won't be able to run straight away. So we want to be aiming to pass at that chest level. And you could even put a target on the wall, or you could be aiming for something outside like a tree, or you could be throwing it into your trampoline or a cushion. Be creative with it. I'll show you again. You're going to have your ball. That's going to be like you're praying. And if you want to pass left, you need to look that way. You need to step that way. And you're going to throw and extend your arms at the same time. I'll see if I can hit that light switch. Let's see if the lights go off. Running, I look, a pass. Ooh, just missed it. And I wouldn't recommend you aiming for a light switch at home, but this is my house. I'm going to do what I want. All right. Oh, don't tell Haley I said that, okay? All right, everyone. So now I'm running and I practice passing to the right. So what do I need to do? I need to stop. I need to look that way. I need to step that way. I need to throw and extend my arms at the same time, aiming for that chest height. Very good. Now let's see if I can speed it up a little bit. I'll see if I can do it really smooth without having to stop running for too long. I'm running, I look, I step, I pass. So I can go back the other way. I run. I'm going to go right this time. I look, I step, I pass. And that was a really good pass, that one. So everyone, press pause, and you're going to have a practice of this, but remember, your passes need to travel backwards of you, okay? You can't pass forward they need to travel sideways and backwards. Press pause, have a go at that. All right, everyone, we should be back now. Now, another really important skill, and I'm still jogging on the spot. So another really important skill of touch football is the ability to run with the ball and try and dodge people that are trying to tag you. Now, we're pretty good at this because we've played a lot of tagging games in our PE sessions. So when we're running, we can be lining up at a person and running towards them, but as we get there, we want to be doing something called a sidestep. So we're not making it easy for them to tag, because if I just run straight, someone can just put their hand out and tag me straight away. But what I would like to be doing is running, and the last second, I'm going to change the direction I'm traveling. I might go right, I might go left, and that's called a sidestep. And we do that because the person might not know which way we're going. They could go the wrong way and we could run through and get a try. Now everybody, so what I want you doing is you're going to run on the spot, and then after a couple of seconds you're going to run quickly forward, and you're going to choose to go right or left. I'm going to do this a few times. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm running, run, sidestep right. Pretty good, that one. I'm running, sidestep left. And you can see it's quite an explosive movement. I really push off the ground and change direction, and I need to push with my opposite legs. If I want to go left, I've got to push hard with this right leg into the ground. And if I want to go right, I've got to push hard with my left leg into the ground. I'll show you again. Gonna go right, gonna push my left leg. Running, sidestep right. See that push? Running, sidestep left. Okay, really push that foot hard into the ground. Press pause and go and have a practice of your sidestepping, okay? All right, everyone, you should be back now. And another important skill for touch football that we need to cover is actually touching or tagging somebody. Now, because of COVID, when we go back to school, we won't be touching or tagging. We're going to use belts with those tails. You remember the tail tag that we played? I'm going to use those to grab, just so we're not touching. But after, hopefully this COVID dies down a little bit, we'll go back to using our tags. And a really important skill for us to know is that when we're trying to tag someone, we don't want to look at their head. And we don't want to look at what they're doing with the ball, because they could go to throw the ball that way, do a sidestep, and they'd be off. Or they could do some funny stuff with their head, and if we're following that, we might go the wrong way. But the area on a person we should be looking is at their hips. Because if you're looking at somebody's hips, whatever way that person's hips go is the way that they're going to go. Because you can't make your hips go this way and then go that way. Your body doesn't work like that. You'll end up like the boy on the insurance ad. My head went that way and my legs went that way. So everyone, what we're going to do is we're going to practice that we're pretending to tag somebody. And we're going to need a nice wide solid stance so we don't get wrong footed when they try and sidestep us. And we're going to come up slowly like this, and we're going to pretend that we're looking at the waist height of people, okay? So we're going to pretend that we're coming up, looking at the waist height, and if I say go, what's going to be reversed for you? If I say go left, you need to quickly come up like this and go left with your hands out like you're ready to tag someone. And if I say go right, you need to quickly come up like this and go right, like you're watching someone's hips and you're ready to tag. All right, are you ready, everybody? Coming up, and come up, and left. Good job. I hope you're copying me on this one. And we're coming up, I'm watching hips, remember? Pretending that there's someone standing in front of me, watching their hips. Coming up and going right. Ooh, very good. Keep those hands up, remember? You might need to grab tails or sashes, and you might need to tag someone. Okay, so hands up, that's important. Can't tag someone if your hands are down here. Keep them up. All right, coming up, person's running at you, and they're going left. Good job. All right, now someone's coming up at you, and they're going right, and you're moving quickly. You're going with their sidestep and the way their body's going. Now, I've just demonstrated a couple for you to try. I would like you to press pause on this video now and pretend that you're a defender and you're coming up. and you're trying to come up and tag people moving different directions, and we're using these awesome side steps, okay? And our feet have a nice wide stance. Press pause, have a go at that. Okay, everyone, hopefully you're back. So far we've looked at passing, which is really good. We've looked at sidestepping, so that's when we're running with the ball and we're trying to avoid our defenders. We have looked at tagging people. That's how they used to stop people in touch football. Remember, it's a touch, not a tackle. The last thing we're going to look at is with our fitness, but it's also a big important skill. It's called getting onside. And what that means is that if I'm the defending team and we're the ones doing the touching or the tagging, we have to make sure that when we tag somebody, we need to give the other team 5 meters of space. So that means, let's pretend, what could I use? We'll just pretend my team's come up, we've tagged somebody, we can't just stand here as they play the ball because we haven't given them enough room to run. And that would be a really boring game. So what we need to do is when we come up and we tag somebody, we tag them, we all on the defending team need to push back and give them 5 meters of space. And it's really important that we do this, that we get onside, otherwise games won't work because the other team needs a little bit of room to run. So what you're going to do for me is some 5 meter shuttle runs. So it might be outside, it could be in your hallway, in your lounge room, wherever you have space. You're going to step out 5 meters, and I don't have that much room in here. But let's pretend I take big 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could put something down here. I could put something at the start, and you're going to practice coming out of your defensive line, pretending that you're defending. You're going to come up, do a pretend tag, and then push back 5 meters. You're going to come up, do a pretend tag, push back 5 meters. But make sure it is 5 meters so you get used to that feeling of how far back you need to go when we do play. Everyone, you can call that your 5 meter shuttle run. Press pause. Do that as many times as you feel comfortable doing it. Hopefully more than less, like I said earlier on. And when you're finished, please go in and fill out our Google form sheet and turn it in on this assignment, okay everyone? And you know what, fingers crossed, hopefully we are back at school on Wednesday, which would be awesome, and we can put all these skills into practice with other people like a team game is supposed to be played. All right everyone, see you later.